coordinator in charge of the defense in Madison, and let's just say there's not really a learning curve. He's doing just fine right now. Look at what they're doing with national ranks left to it. They're fourth best in the country, giving up only 10 points a game. Top 10 in the country in the least amount of 20-yard plays, least amount of total yards, least amount of rushing yards per game. There's just something about it in Wisconsin, and the man who is in charge of that program on defense now is Jim Leonhard, who joins us from Madison. And Jim, you're there, so maybe you can give some insight into this. Head coaches come and go, coordinators come and go, and Wisconsin continues to be good year in, year out. How is that possible?
I think the number one thing is we know as a program who we are and how we win. And you know, with the coaching changes, we stay true to who we are as a university and as a program. Chryst is obviously a lot of insider knowledge on this university, and we're being who we are. Physical, tough, smart football players, and we got a lot of experience on both sides of the ball right now, and I think that's showing.
You mentioned Chryst. When did you first meet him?
For 1 year when I was at Wisconsin, my sophomore year, and then he had left after that. So I got to know him a little bit then, and then I was back in Madison in the off seasons when I was in the NFL, and got to know him a lot better, and formed a very good relationship with him.
Describe that relationship.
We both just love football, and we love teaching the game of football. So I always came back and just loved to sit down in his office and just see what he was thinking about, what he was working on, and I always was a student of the game and loved the mental side of it, so enjoyed talking to offensive coaches like himself.
It's your first year as a defensive coordinator. What has surprised you thus far about being a DC?
I don't think there's been that many surprises. Was around a lot of really good coaches and got some great advice. To me, the biggest thing is being flexible, being willing to make changes and make adjustments, and I think we've done a great job relying on my staff. You know, Tim Tibesar, Anoki Brechterfield, Bob Bosted, great defensive coaches, and really leaning on them to help me get through maybe some of the things where I lack experience in.
Well, speaking of being flexible, I mean, you were tested right off the bat by losing Jack Sitchie, one of your best players on defense, before you even got to play in a game this year. How did you go about getting your guys ready to not only get past that, but finding the next man up to replace him?
You know, last season it was very fortunate for us and unfortunate. We had a lot of injuries. We had to have a number of people step up, and you know, we gained tremendous experience from that. And it's carrying on into this season, whereas now you look at a lot of even our backups have experience. And, you know, Jack Sitchie, you never like to see a player like that go down. Obviously, he's continuing to lead this football team, even though he's not on the field. But we're having a number of guys step up. It really is that next man up mentality. It's pretty cool to see our guys just accept that challenge. And it's going to be no different coming down the stretch here in the Big Ten the rest of the season.
Take a second and consider everyone on your roster. And I want you to tell me which player reminds you the most of you when you were in college.
Ooh, that's hard. A number of guys that I just love on this team. TJ Edwards is a guy that I really just appreciate the way that he plays the game. You know, a lot of heart, a lot of passion, very intelligent player. Played the game since his freshman year. So a ton of experience. Just love the way he communicates for our defense. As far as the secondary goes, you know, I got to pick a safety. I got Dakota Dixon there. Really try to teach him the game of football, and really, at this point in his career, get some of that graduate level knowledge and help him communicate to the defense. There's two guys out of a handful of guys that I could have picked and talk about all day long.
Jay Lehman's over here telling me something about you winning a dunk contest once. What's the story here, and how's your hops now?
They're gone now, but it's been documented. I know that Big Ten's running everything. It's all brand new again now that I'm back here. But I just love being an athlete, back coming out of high school, playing basketball, playing baseball, playing football, and you know, it's something fun that Coach Alvarez always did in the off season, and I surprised some people.
Before we let you go, you got Northwestern coming up next. When you watch tape of their running back, Justin Jackson, what do you see?
To me, he's one of the best in the country. Was very, very impressed with him a year ago when we played him, and seen it the rest of the season and on to this year. Very elusive, very patient. Is pretty unbelievable how patient he is. You can tell he patterns his game after Le'Veon Bell a little bit. Just gets from 0 to 60 in a heartbeat and makes guys miss in the second level.
Jim, thanks so much for your time. And a reminder, Juan says you have to say hi to Barry Alvarez because he knows every coach.
Oh, I will.
In all of football. So, Jim Leonhard, congrats on the great start.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You bet, man. Thanks for joining us.